So greetings. We are back. And we are back in full effect. All right, y'all. Welcome back. We are back in full effect. My apologies, folks. Technology. I can't do like Bounty Killer and all of them, who throw these internet companies under the bus. So we just blame it on technology. We had a break in transmission from my end. Thanks to Tova Hamilton. She held it down like a real trooper. But we still have Minister Montague in the house, and that's why we have to tell you, you see, when it comes to loyalty and dedication, find them on the street dime a dozen. So for us to still have Minister Montague in the building, patiently waiting, still want to join us, that's just awesome. So we're going to ask you guys to share the program. Tell a friend, tweet a friend. We're live on YouTube. We should be live on Instagram as well. But we 100% sure we're live on Facebook. We're also live on Minister Montague's page. So in case you're just joining us, we're back in full effect, 124 deep. Tell a friend, tweet a friend, tell a friend we're on. Minister, you are in the building, live. Greetings.
Thank you, and let me, say how to do to all your faithful listeners. We stayed on because we know you and we know you were coming on. Very resilient.
Absolutely, not giving up. And
no, not at all.
And thank you, Minister, because what we just saw a while ago is not the norm. And for you to stay on for 15, 20 minutes until we resolve the issue, I have to say thank you, sir. Much respect.
It's my pleasure. We have to do what we have to do. And I really admire Tova, who stepped up and filled the space.
Yes.
But I don't know why they pulled her off, because she was just getting warm. And she was about to tell us more of her plans for Trelawney. I have great expectations for that young lady. And I want to say to the people of Trelawney that she is your daughter. She was so humble and engaging. She forgot to tell them that her mother was the leading midwife in Falmouth and has provided a lot of care and delivered almost all of the children in Falmouth. So her service to the people of Falmouth is well known. And she's a hard worker. She is qualified. She's doing the work. She's not only a social worker, she's on the ground working, meeting the people of North Trelawney. And we expect that Tova Hamilton will become the next member of parliament for Northern Trelawney.
Well, when we hear it from the chairman, none other than the chairman of the Jamaica Labour Party, that he is in no way, shape, or form doubtful that Tova Hamilton will be the next member of parliament for Northern Trelawney. That is an endorsement indeed. So, Minister, how are you doing?
It is not just an endorsement. It is because of her work and her worth. And she is out there engaging with the people. And she has her plans and programs. And she's making, importantly, that connection with the people. Because Tova is an engaging person. She loves the people. And it is always said, if you love the people will love you back.
Yes. That's a popular saying always coming from you. So, Minister Montague, know that we have you in the hot seat on the chopping block. It's been a while. We've always wanted to have a conversation with someone like you. And let me first say, one of the reasons we always, and I can tell you that there are several persons who have asked me, why can't you get Minister Montague on? And one of the reasons for some reason, you are attached and connected to social media more than a lot of folks. Why? You're from the old school.
That's what you think. But Chopper, before we go any further, if you will forgive me and your listeners,
yes,
I really would like to pay tribute to my sister and dear friend and colleague, Shahini Elizabeth Robinson, who
Yes.
I met and knew Shahini long before she entered politics. We used to work together in the financial institution, the Eagle Group of companies in Ocho. We were always very, very close, and we exchanged our thoughts, and always shared stuff, because we realized when we met that we were from the same part of the political spectrum. And Shahini has always been very engaging, very paradoxical. You will see Shahini best dressed, ready to go to meet the Queen, and in the next half hour, you go to the next dance or the next party or river party, and that's Shahini. She was a lively, bubbly spirit. Her constituency was next door to mine. I learned so much from her during the 2001 by-election. We were Era Council 2 was in charge of the exchange division. I had to work up in the Great Pond area, the
Yeah.
4 PDs in Great Pond, and we took them home. The St. Mary team took them home. But it was always a pleasure working with Shahini. When I won in 2007, she became my neighbor again, as we lived next door to each other during that time. There's never a family function or event from my side or her side we are not always present, or as long as they are here and available. So I really, on behalf of my family and self, express condolences to her family. But on behalf of the Jamaica Labour Party, the wider family, I know everybody would wish for me to extend condolences and sympathies to her immediate family and to her extended family of Northeast St. Anne. And while we are in St. Anne, it would be remiss of me not to say a word to Dr. Neville Gallimore, the stalwart and the foundation and the bedrock of Southwest St. Anne. I have been up to his farm so many times. He had a little mini zoo. He had a lot of exotic plants.
Yes.
But there was one thing about Dr. Gallimore was his love for people and to seeing people being educated. I think at one stage he told me some 43 persons he helped to send to school, from primary school right through to university. 43. And
Wow.
he wasn't counting his children. And he's from a political family. His father and his son was up in West Rural, and he's a strong member. He was a very strong member of the Seventh-day Adventist faith. He gave of himself. He worked tirelessly in the advancement of people. Whether you're a JLP or a PNP, Dr. Gallimore saw people. He was willing, just like Shahini, to go out there and to help people, to help youngsters, to help persons to get their footing in life, in the political arena. And he always, every year, he always went to a school graduation, a primary school graduation, up in his old constituency. And he was always willing to lend a hand and to help others. In the same breath, Chopper, we lost the former mayor of Maypen, my very personal friend Milton Brown, and former president of Alga. We also lost the deputy mayor, former deputy mayor of Lucy, Audley Gilpin, who was also a member in his later years of the Parish Council Services Commission. And we lost a former councillor, Hugh Perry, from the Mansion Hill Division in Portland. And Hugh Perry was also a referee, a JFF trained referee. Yes. And so these are persons who gave yeoman service within the political arena and even outside. I mean, when I went to college up in Portland, Hugh Perry was one of those who sought me out because he was a contemporary of my father, and offered guidance over his home to me, so that I had a home in Portland. And he has always been there throughout my political journey. His brother, who is in Florida, I know very well. I mean, I have never gone to Florida and not linked up with him. So, the party is hurting, but it is a way of life, and we know that the good Lord up in heaven is not going to give us more than we can bear.
Yes.
And we say to all the family members, all the grieving persons, the party is here with you. We are not going to abandon you, but the greatest person that is going to be with you is the good Lord himself. And you can call upon the name, the mighty name that is above all other name. That's the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, the only begotten Son. He will be there to comfort and to guide and to pour out his grace during this bereavement.
Amen. 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 We saw yesterday, Minister, we saw, and while you're on that note, I think it's a good way for us to segue into the activities celebrating Shahini yesterday in Ocho Rios. We had a little walked through there, I noticed that persons were practicing, the social distancing, and they wrapped it up pretty soon. I think they were given a specific time in which to conduct their vigil, and they did so. What's your take on that?
Well, Chopper, you have to give people a chance to grieve. It is our culture. It is what makes Jamaicans Jamaicans, because we give space and time to
Yes.
grieve. It's a natural thing, and we celebrate the life of people. We don't only grieve to mourn the loss of a person. We grieve because we experienced and we grew with and we were partners and companions with somebody, and that our lives and the world was a better place because they lived. So we grieve, and we have to grieve. But what I'm impressed about is that Jamaicans in the main, not only there, but right across the length and breadth of the country, is making that extra effort, is trying to abide by the regulations. I've
Yes.
seen Jamaicans now in lines, lining up. And normally, even going into buses, you'd see people rushing and fighting to get in. You see people wearing their mask, and even if they don't have it on, they have the mask with them. I mean, and you just have to say to somebody, "Where's your mask?" And they pop it out, and you
Right.
say to them, "You need to wear it." And people are trying. You will always have one or two that wants to be the outlier. And I'm saying, let us leave them. In time, they will come around. But I'm really proud of my fellow citizens in the way in which they are trying to abide by the regulations. I want to pause and to take this time to say to Prime Minister Holness that he has been steady, he has been sure, and he has been sincere in updating the nation every step of the way. Prime Minister Holness has been apologetic when it was needed. He has been decisive when it is necessary. He has opened the borders of the country to bring home our brothers and sisters in a very safe way. He's creating balance so that while we have to abide by the public health regulations, there is also the need of getting persons back to work and to get the economy going. And that balance between the economy and public health, it is a happy medium. He has slowly begun to open some facilities with restrictions and has made it very clear that if we have a spike, too heavy of a spike or too sudden, he's going to pull back. You know, Chapper, I am proud, I am happy, and I am glad that Andrew Michael Holness is the Prime Minister today that is taking us through this pandemic. I wouldn't want any other Prime Minister to take us through this pandemic. Andrew Holness is the true meaning of a real leader.
And
Yes.
you see that being echoed in the halls of international communities. The Minister of Health and the Prime Minister have been singled out by the World Health Organization for their stewardship and handling of this whole pandemic. I will join you in saying that I don't believe that Jamaica could have had any better person to lead us through this crisis, because this is unprecedented and it needed somebody and a team with steady hand. Yourself being a part of that team, Minister.
Well, I must tell you that Minister Chris Tufton is not only compassionate, he's the consummate Minister of Health. And he leads a team of professionals at the Ministry of Health and Wellness that there is no praise, no appreciation can be expressed for the work and worth of our fellow Jamaicans and others who work within that. Our frontline staff, our essential workers, our security forces, the drivers in the public passenger industry, and all the people who are working behind to keep our people going. I really want to salute all of the essential and frontline workers in this fight. But I believe the greatest tribute, the greatest thanks and appreciation must be reserved for the people of Jamaica, this great land of ours, for the way we have stood together, the way we have united, the way we have held each other's hand, the way we have, looked out for our neighbors. I also would like to put on record my appreciation for the workers in the political field from both political parties, the indoor agents, the outdoor agents, the runners, the supervisors, because we have now leveraged the political network to find the disabled, to find the poor, to
Yes.
find the vulnerable and to give a care package. The compassion that is being shown by ordinary Jamaicans to each other is commendable. And this is what gives us hope. The true meaning of being a Jamaican is coming out. And I really, even our Jamaican brothers and sisters who are overseas, our
Yes.
bloggers, our journalists, we have to pay tribute because a lot of Jamaicans are stuck overseas right now and are now getting ready to come home. But the patience and the understanding that they have displayed has made all of us proud. And we are indeed proud to be Jamaicans, being a part of this rock. And we know that there's no safer place than home. And we are here waiting to welcome you home when you come home. I want to say to our social media bloggers, keep on blogging, keep on informing us, keep us in the loop, and tell us of the experiences. And you have a government here in Jamaica and Kingston that is compassionate, that listens, and that has the best interest, your best interest, the person overseas, and the best interest of the persons here in Jamaica.
Have you? I mean, Minister, when you look at it, one would never believe that there could ever be a time when Jamaicans are clamoring to come to Jamaica as opposed to other foreign countries. Have you ever thought about that?
I have, and I'm very impressed because when you see the amount of requests, Chopper, of Jamaicans, 9,000 plus Jamaicans from 67 countries across the world who wants to come home. But also when you put on top of that are persons who are saying they want to come home, they want permission to land their private plane. As
Yes.
the Minister of Transport, we license a lot of these planes, but many times they are overseas. And you see Jamaicans now trekking in a medical emergency. A lot of persons before would head out of Jamaica to seek
Yes.
medical attention. And what you find is that a lot of Jamaicans are heading home for medical attention. It says a lot about the investment that Prime Minister Holness and Minister Tufton and the government has been able to make in our health services. And it says a lot about the professionalism of our people who work, sometimes under trying circumstances, sometimes with limited resources. But what comes through, no matter if the resources are limited, love is not limited in Jamaica. And nothing heals better than love.
With respect to the Ministry of Transport, because that's your forte, how did the whole coronavirus, the pandemic on a whole, how did it affect that ministry in particular?
Well, remember, two ways, good and bad. On the mining side, because I'm Minister of Transport and Mining, you find that right now mining is the number one earner of foreign exchange. Because tourism is gone, remittances are gone, so mining is there, and our mining operations are still going. I hope you're hearing me. My picture is gone.
Yes, I'm hearing you. Yes.
So mining is now the number one earner of foreign exchange in Jamaica.
You heard that. You heard that first time on the block. I don't think anybody knew that at this point. And you just say it again, Minister. You say that mining is number one.
It's number one. And we not only mine bauxite, but there's limestone, and we are doing semi-precious stones. Because when you go into our rivers, you see a lot of them, and we have a budding jewelry making industry coming along with the semi-precious stones. We also have, last year, we issued some 40 prospecting licenses in Jamaica. Of that 40, Chopper, and dear listeners, I want to impress you now. Of that 40, 33 were to a Jamaican owned and operated company,
Wow.
Geophysics.
Wow.
And if ever gold, diamond, zinc, copper, tin is going to be found in Jamaica in commercial quantities, it is that company that is going to find it. What I am impressed is that the way in which they have done their mining, the respect for the land, the
Yes.
respect for the environment, and they started off by doing a chemical analysis of the rivers, and based on what they found, they went upstream and did more, and then they narrowed down where they were getting, traces from. Then they did a flyover, then they did a beta ray survey, and they were able to hand to the government a map showing where water is underground. So even before they did their thing, they were engaging the government to say, look, Jamaica's underground resources, these are aquifers, these are bodies of water that they have picked up
Yeah.
underground, so that it is going to help us as a nation. Then they went ahead and they employed some 30 university students from the University of the West Indies um, geology department to begin to train them. They hand over their data, and we are working with them. And the principal of that company is one Robert Stewart. And a lot of persons know him as Bobby Stewart. Sometimes he's on social media. He likes to send out infomercials of about 5 minutes, giving his opinion on topics. He has about 2 out on COVID-19. He
Yes.
is also the son, I think the first son of Butch Stewart, but he is not in the tourism business. He's in
Right.
the mining business. On the transportation side, we have been affected. As you realize, at one stage we had to say to taxi operators, you can carry one less than what you're licensed to carry. And for buses, you cannot carry any standing. We have moved to institute a program of sanitation within the Mobile Metro and the JUTC, where we sanitize the buses, we sanitize the bus stops and the terminals, and we also sanitize the high touch area. We have installed hand sanitizer dispensers on our buses. We have a prototype of doing some cages for the drivers. We have also removed we have blocked off the first 2 rows behind the driver, and we have issued facial protection for our drivers. And we have a policy that nobody will drive on our buses if they don't have facial covering. We have engaged the taxi services. We have partnered with mint cleaners to do a series of sanitization of taxis, private taxis, across a number of communities. We have not finished. We still have Maypen to go. We have other things. We have given out hand sanitizers to a number of taxi associations. Well, as a matter of fact, we gave to all route taxi association. I myself participated in symbolically handing out to a number of taxi operators. Even in my constituency, from the constituency side, we have a program of sanitization where we go into communities every day to sanitize the taxis and the buses, to give people that measure of assurance that we are concerned about their health. It has affected us at the Island Traffic Authority, where we had to suspend the issuance of driver's license. We're going to open back on Monday to issue driver's license by appointment. But one of the good things that we had was that when I became minister, I came out with a 16-point plan. And one of that was the see to the digitization of the processes at the Transport Authority. And we were just about to close off. And then this pandemic hit. And we were able to, at the Transport Authority, to renew the 72,000 commercial road license and the 35,000 PPV road license online.
And that's remarkable. That's remarkable. And that is what you call forward thinking, because
that is correct. Persons went into the offices, but they never had to. And we have instituted a program where we have said, if you go into our offices to create a crowd and to break the social distancing law, if you go into the office without an appointment, a $10,000 late fee is applicable. If you renew online, it is free of cost. And we have seen persons renewing online. You have your smartphone, you have your tablets, you have your computers, and a lot of the associations have opened their offices to their members to renew online. We also allow the associations to come into the offices with the applications in batches. It has worked very well. And our people have stepped up. You were criticizing me that I'm from the old school. Well, our taxi and bus operators, whether they were from the old or the new school, they stepped up to the plate. They did their renewals online, and we were the leading entity. When other entities were trying a thing here and trying a thing there, our sites were user friendly. It was easy to get onto, and the full range of services was available. Of course, you have some persons who like to come into the office because they have relationships in the office, but they never had to. And if you need to get into the office, you just call, make an appointment, and get in. we started the new normal before it was fancy.
Right.
I got criticized for my 16-point plan, but today, when you apply for a renewal, when you apply for your road license, you get it back in less than 3 days. I mean, I've had persons calling me to say they got a call to come and pick up the license and they don't think it's true. Because what used to take months is now taking days.
Yes, I got that voice note that somebody who was very impressed with the service with the service there.
So we have that, and we are moving. For example, part of our long-term plan is to move to a GPS-based license disc, where the disc that you will get to put on your vehicle will be GPS-based, so that we will know where you are. We will know that you are conforming to the route. Because what I believe in is that we must leverage technology to help us to achieve the society that we want. We can't hide from the technology, but we have to leverage it to help us. Because, for example, you have a lot of investors who invest in the public passenger industry, and many times they don't know where their vehicles are. They give it to somebody to drive, and they don't know where the vehicle is, what has happened to the vehicle. And persons sometimes object that the government wants to know where they are. But let me make a case. A gentleman in Portmore had a taxi and he sold it. Sold that taxi, but he did not transfer it. And he bought another vehicle that he transferred to his name. There was a criminal incident over on the eastern side of the city. The information the police got, they came to Portmore to investigate because the vehicle involved was registered to this gentleman in Portmore.
Yes.
And the police came. And he was able to call his service provider because he had a tracker on the old vehicle and he had a tracker on the new vehicle. And his service provider was able to show that he drove into his house, his yard at X time, and that vehicle had not moved. So that the other vehicle was way over on the eastern part of Kingston, close to St. Thomas, and where it was before. So it definitely could not be this gentleman that was driving that vehicle. And it was cleared up. Now, can you imagine? And it was actually on a Friday afternoon.
Yes.
If he didn't have a tracker, he would have been taken out. He would have been detained.
Yes.
And he would have an opportunity to go to the court on Monday. But he would have spent the weekend at the courtesy of the government of Jamaica. Unnecessarily. We have seen where persons have been accused of breaking stoplights, and the trackers we spoke to has come in as a third independent witness to show that they did not break the stoplight. And it has helped a lot of people. But you don't hear people talking about how it has helped them. You hear a lot of complaints, but we accept it because it is something new.
Yes.
A lot of persons are a little nervous, and I understand people being nervous to pass data to government. But what we are saying, we don't need the data. We don't need to know where you are after hours.
Yes.
And which house you stop at, and which house you don't stop at.
Yes.
And how often you stop there. We have no interest in that. Absolutely no interest. And people are coming around now to the idea. Now, Trapper, can you imagine if we were able to track all the vehicles in the industry? We would be able to say there's an excess on this route. We will be able to say that while vehicles are parked at one end, we have a demand at the other end. We will be a lot more efficient. And when you tie that, Trapper, to a NID, national identification,
I'll go in there.
It makes life so much easier. For example, with the care packages, especially the compassionate grant, if we had a national ID database, nobody would have had to apply to the Ministry of Finance. It would have been automatic.
Right. And you would know exactly where to dispatch.
Exactly. A lot of persons today were not able to access the care package because just like you, they don't have internet service.
Right.
And a lot of them never know of it until it is too late, because when Miss Hilda or Miss Trula come down off the hill, cross the gully and come down. It take her 2-3 days to come out. And she don't know how to manipulate the internet. And therefore, by the time she get onto it, the program was closed. But if we had a database, we would have her age. We would know what would happen. We would know where she is. We would be able to say, well, Miss Trula qualifies for a compassionate grant. And we would have a bank account for her. And we would say, bam, just put it into her account.
Right.
Easy as cheese. But it is going to take time. It is going to take time for people to come around, for people to engage, and for people to understand. And we are ready for the long haul. We are ready for the engagement. We are ready for the public discourse. We are ready for the talking. We want to say to persons, there is no restriction on routes.
Yes.
So I just saw somebody say they need 3 new taxi licenses. Yes, just go apply for it.
It's a quick and fast.
What we have a restriction is on hackney carriage licenses in the Kingston and St. Andrew area. Yeah. So if you need 3 or 4 taxi licenses, quick and fast, apply to the Transport Authority.
That's some serious improvement though, Minister, because part of the problem you used to have over the years is that it was so difficult to do business, especially with Transport Authority. It was just a hassle. And to hear, coming out, I mean, I heard this reiterating what we saw recently, that the speed in which you can get these things done now is unbelievable.
Well, Chopper, I am from the country. I'm a countryman. And
I mean a city.
I believe we must treat everybody, countryman, Kingston man, with respect.
Yes.
I also believe that the services that are in Kingston ought to be available to the man in the country. There should be no difference.
Yes.
And I believe that we must respect the consumer. I don't believe we should be bungling up people in a little office. Because it's not my thing. And I moved long before COVID to correct that. And for example, what we are moving now to have the law amended so that you do not have, because every 70,000+ people who have commercial road licenses and the 30,000+ people who have PPV license all had to renew on the 30th of March. So the license becomes effective on the 1st of April. Everybody wants that. It could work. It could not work. And therefore, we are moving to amend the law to have it staggered. So you can renew your license in your birth month. So that you are born in October, all those in October are born in October, can go and renew, so you don't have to have this bungling and crowd. When I went there, I found that if you applied for a license or if you wanted to renew your license, the whole application had to come to Kingston. You applied in Montague-Choppjohn, it had to come to Kingston, that to be processed in Kingston. Then it went to the board. No, board is a policy-making body. Why is the board spending time
on operation stuff?
Operational matter, and you have professionals who you're paying to do the job. So allow the professionals to do their jobs. And they have done their jobs.
That's forward thinking, Minister.
First, we can now come and we have said regionalized approval. Who is more knowledgeable about a route than the people in the community and in the area and in the region? Nobody else. And we must have faith and trust in the abilities of our Jamaican people. And I have that faith and I have that trust in people, in my Jamaican people, and they have never let me down.
Well, that is why you see so much changes in the system and improvement. Minister, just in case you're just joining us, folks, we're talking with Minister Robert Montague, the minister with the most vote.
The member of parliament, sir. The member of parliament.
Member of parliament with the most vote. Well, look, Minister, let's just take a quick, because we're coming back in and we cannot let you sit here and speak to policy alone, because there are several issues that we have to talk about. So let us look at some of the memorable moment of Robert Montague in the political arena.
We as a party must reflect on the fact that as the greatest social movement in the Caribbean, We have laid the foundations for prosperity for Jamaica. It is we, the Jamaica Labour Party, that built 126 primary schools to take our children from under trees and put them into classrooms. It was the Jamaica Labour Party that built 60 secondary schools in Jamaica. We upgraded and repaired hundreds of others. And it was the Jamaica Labour Party that removed cost sharing and fees from education. It is the Jamaica Labour Party that opened CAST, now called UTEC. It is the JLP.
So there you have it. That's one of the speech that resonates with a lot of people in Jamaica, because you took time out to remind people of some of the things that the Jamaica Labour Party has been doing. Chief, we have to bring you into the political arena now. Talk to us a little bit about the politics that is brewing. You know the questions are up there. I'm not gonna put them up yet. You know the questions is there, because everybody, for some reason, they believe that the party chairman has the key. When I said to people, when they ask me, you're going to ask him when is the date? I said, I can't ask the man that. They said, no, they said no, because
You can. Yes, you can.
Minister, when is the date?
I'll ask the Prime Minister and then come back and tell you.
Well, you know what I told me when I told him that? I said, the minister don't have the answer. It's the Prime Minister's prerogative to do that. The person said to me that the Prime Minister relies on the party chairman to give him the signal when to fly the gate.
Well, let me say this. Let me just say this because it is public knowledge.
Yes.
The Jamaica Labour Party is getting ready.
Yes.
An election is constitutionally due in March of next year, because you look at the government when the parliament sits. And so we are due in March of next year. And we were getting ready before the COVID pandemic, and we are still getting ready. We have engaged technology, and we have had our operations council, which is strictly the officers meeting. We have had them virtually. So we have gone into cyberspace, and we have lined up some interviews in which we're going to be using that platform as well, because the work of the party doesn't stop. We have enough talent that while some are dealing with the pandemic, the political work must continue, because I am from the old school, as you know, and we know that governments cannot win election nor run an election.
Absolutely.
It is the party that runs an election. And we are getting ready. We have less than 5 seats that we need to settle. We have persons working in them. We are going through and ticking the boxes. We are making sure we observe our constitution and that persons will get a fair shake of the pie. We are not shortcutting the corners. We are not shortchanging anybody. We are allowing the delegates of this great party to help in the final decision of who represents them, because the person represents the delegates of the party in a constituency. They don't represent the secretariat and party central. So we are not going to choose anybody for anybody. If the party is asked to send somebody, if the people can't find, we will interview. We will say to the executive, here is a slate of persons who have an interest, you choose. And so we do the background checks. We make sure, there is the criminal background check, the financial background check, and the moral background check, to make sure that when we put a slate of candidates out there, every Labourite is proud of the candidates that we put.
So you're not in the business of parachuting persons into seat, as persons like to accuse the secretariat of doing sometimes, about parachuting persons in.
No. And that is why you find that persons have said to me, party chairman, why you don't send us, or the party not send us nobody? And my standard response to them, we don't send people. If a person has an interest and indicate to the party that they would like to enter representational politics and would like to enter into a seat, we sit with them, we go through everything, and we find their interest, and we say, okay, based on who you are, your character, and the characters of this seat, there are about 4 or 5 seats that might suit you. Why don't you go and engage the people to see if they would want you? Because I don't want anybody to push anybody on me. So I most certainly won't be pushing anybody on any constituency. And then you have the interview process at Operations Council. Then we have a selection process where the workers, the delegates, the supervisors, and the executive have an opportunity to express themselves. And we have regular audits right now. We are getting reports on audits. You have candidates now who are being audited. We are saying to persons, you need to have your machinery oiled and ready, because winning an election is not about who have the biggest meeting and the longest motorcade. It is those who have an indoor agent in every polling station and an outdoor agent and suitable runners and taximen and supervisors. The network that is there is not only about popularity. It is about a person who is committed to do the work. It is about a person who is willing to go the last mile of the road to meet that person. And it is one thing I can tell you, Chapa, and all your viewers about the Jamaican people. There is an inbuilt character reader. Where people tell them, my stomach not take him. I mean, feel him.
The spirit of feel him.
Spirit of feeling.
Yes.
If they don't feel you, they're not going to vote for you. And therefore, you have to go out there and you have to engage. And nothing strips away the pretense and the haughtiness and the arrogance than politics.
What do you say to a candidate, party chairman, who has the connection on the ground? The people love this individual. But this person is not a political animal, doesn't understand the politics, but the people love him. Very popular. How does one maximize on that?
Well, this is where now the party comes in to put an organizer there and to help to bring the talent that is resident in the seat. And this is one of the things with the difference with the JLP and other parties. We always believe that the talent is available locally. We look local first. So we may bring in an organizer and to say, bring the people together. That is when you bring the people together and they express themselves and you tell them what is needed, they will rise to the occasion. You just have to have faith in the people. Not because a man don't talk the standard Queen's English, it means he doesn't have a political knack and knowledge and strategy. Yes. We engage, and that is why sometimes they try to demean us in the Labour Party, call we dirty labor right and all them things. We don't look down on people in the JLP. We believe the JLP is a vehicle to lift the people up,
right?
To create pathways for those who had no other pathway. And we believe politics must be leveraged to lift up everybody. Right. Not only laborites, but to lift up the community. And we believe in our Jamaican people, and we invest in our people, and we will train that person because we have a number of training programs. And we train our candidates, we train our workers, we train our supervisors. So we train people. And if you the most important ingredient as a politician is love. And the second one is attitude.
Yes.
Because I can't teach you attitude.
To come to that.
You have to come to the table with attitude. Aptitude is a different thing.
Different ballgame, yes.
But attitude is inbuilt. You can shape everything else. But you have to come to the table with attitude. And if the people love you, we will train you and teach you the others. Because I can't teach the people to love you, and I can't teach you to love people.
Right.
You have to have it or you don't have it.
Right. And if you don't have
people love you, we will give it, we will help you with the rest.
Yes, yes.
Because so love is the greatest thing a politician can have.
Yes. And your type of politics, you're coming from an era, and you have transformed. I mean, you lost your election back in 2011.
Yes.
And I don't know, but you came back with the vim, vigor, and vitality, like Mr. Siaga spoke about. and you double down. And now you came back with the most vote as a member of parliament. What are some of the strategies without giving up, stuff to your opponent? Apart from loving the people, what are some of the strategies that Robert Montague brings to the table in his constituency that brings out that amount of vote?
You said it, Chopper. It's love. When you knock on a person's door and they look you in the eye and they shake your hand and you ask them, you beg them to vote for you, they know if you're genuine or not. You can't fool them. They look straight in your eye and they tell you yes or they tell you no.
Yes.
And 9 out of 10 times, that is what they're sticking with. Because it's either they feel you
I don't know.
Because you could talk up a storm if you want to. But that little old lady just sit down and she just cut through everything. Or that child. They just cut through the huff and look at the real character.
Yes.
And it is either they're going with you or they're not going with you. And I was able to walk and to knock on doors and to engage and to go to funerals and grave digging and to express my love for people, and then people express their love for me. And then, I don't want to go too deep because as a matter of fact, a lot of people don't know, but I'm actually a PhD student at the university. And my thesis is on that, constituency management. And when I did the first draft, the university professors read what I did and they said they have to embargo this work.
Yes.
Because some of the techniques that I have in there, we came to an agreement that I cannot disclose it because it is too current. And my opponents may get their hands on it and use it as a weapon. But I will say to people, I always say to people, and I say it publicly, get 3 pairs of sneakers. When you walk down the first one, you're just warming up.
Yes.
When you walk down the second one, you're on the right track. When you walk and lean up the third one, you're just about getting there. The work just starts.
3
If you're
pairs.
not prepared to go press flesh, if you're not prepared to knock on the next door, because you can always knock on this door, What is the inbuilt character is when you are prepared to knock on the next door.
But there are candidates who tell you, Minister, Chairman, that I'm not in the mood of walking. I can win this without walking. The party is popular. The Prime Minister is popular. The country is doing well. We have an excellent party, Chairman. Why should I have to walk?
It's not about popularity. You can be very popular. But if you can't bring that vote, you can't convert the popularity to vote.
Yes.
And if you can't bring that vote to the polling station, you ain't going anywhere. I can promise you that. Because it is a logistics game. And you have to know where your support is. You have to know how to make that convert from support to vote. How do you motivate the person who supports you but will not vote? You have a lot of person that will love you and support you, and boy, I wish you well, For example, I'm sure a lot of candidates listening, whether you're JLP and PNP, where people tell you, boy, I love you,
Yes.
And you're my friend, man, now you go to school, and you're the best thing will come around, but we can't vote for you because we belong to the other side.
Yes.
So they love you. They love you, but they belong to the other side, and they're not voting for you, but they wish you well. But wishing well don't win an election. It is votes that win an election.
And you must have the ability to convert support into vote.
That is correct. And having convert support to vote, you must then have the ability to move that vote from where it is to the polling station and to ensure that the vote is actually made. Then you take the person back home.
Chairman, your connection with social media. There's something about you and social media. That there's this connection, that you're connected with and appreciative of social media. Tell us a little bit about your social media background.
Yeah, well, you're about a thing known as high five. A lot of young people don't even know high five.
Yes, What you know about high five? Why did I see you from the old school? I am old school. High five. You know high five.
From high five. And then Facebook. I will
Yes.
tell you, if you look at my Facebook profile, you will see me in a red shirt.
Yes.
And that was my first profile picture on Facebook. And it was taken by my cousin in Fort Lauderdale. And he was up into Facebook and I wasn't into it. I was high five.
Yes.
And he said to me, he predicted that Facebook is going to be big and you're going to have people who won't come off it. And therefore he's going to create a profile for me. So he went and he bought this red shirt.
Yes.
And he says he's putting me in a red shirt and he's going to take the picture and use it. And I said, why? He said, because everybody know you're a laborer, but we must soften the image that and demonstrate to people that you can put on a red shirt and not going to kill you. Because putting on a red shirt not going to convert you into a comrade.
Yes.
And putting on a green shirt is not going to make you into a laborer. You have a lot of people who put on the green shirt to reinforce the fact that they are a laborer today.
Yeah.
So that you have to look at the color of the shirt and say, oh, I'm a laborer. I don't have to do that. My history in the party is there. I'm a second generation laborer. My father is a charter member of the party.
Yes.
Lady Bustamante is my godmother, one of my godmothers.
Yes.
I am a live member of the BITU. So my antecedents is well known in the party. So I don't have to put it on my shoulder and parade. I come to the table and I try to establish myself. Although I stand on the shoulders of others before me and we must pay tribute to our ancestors, but I still try to carve my own pathway. So back to social media.
Yes.
So having gotten onto Facebook by my cousin, we started to play around with it and I saw the utility and the value of Facebook. And then SMS came along. And I was always the person who loved technology. I was always interested in technology. We were challenged when I was going to college by a Dr. Edgar Thomas, who tried to say to us, technology should not be your master. You should master it and therefore make it help you. And I saw the utility and the value of Facebook for politics.
Mm-hmm.
And then SMS, I saw it even greater. Then here comes WhatsApp and Instagram and email and all of that. And we were at the time seeing the world change right before your eyes. Because you moved from the old rotary dial phone
dial up
to a cell, you know, the big Motorola Deluxe.
Yes, man.
Fridge.
The fridge.
The fridge. You had to walk with 2 batteries.
Yes, man.
And you had the one with the bag.
Yes.
And then I invested in a beeper company in New York.
Okay.
Along with some cousins. And that, well, it was a friend, that Lennox Lewis, not the boxer.
Yes.
But Lennox Lewis, my friend who went to set me right with me. We invested in a beeper company. Then he started this technology company that we started to have the Lewis Group, where we had conference called video calls.
Mm-hmm.
Because we discovered a market where a lot of Jamaicans were in the tri-state area but wanted to connect with family, but they couldn't come home. And I'm not going into the reasons why they can't come home. But they wanted to see the family. So we established a number of centers where persons would go in and make the video conference call and they could see their family. And that went, and then we partnered with CVM and we started to broadcast the CVM news in Times Square at the Port Authority. So, and then we took ads. So the technology, and then there was a split off now in the Lewis Group. Then you had Pario Solutions was made, and Lennox went down into Brazil, where he's now one of the larger developers. He does housing schemes down in Brazil.
Yes.
And so that the technology background, more because you were investing into it from the other end rather than working, you're on the back end. So you saw it, you saw the thing, you heard the engineers. You know, we were dabbling into a little media because we had a little company. And this is where, if you notice, my email is Suntel.
Yes, I saw that.
That
Yes.
is the technology.
Yes.
And we dabbled into media because we actually did a number of videos of putting Jamaican recipes on video.
Oh.
Oliver worked with us, and that went very well. Not for Jamaicans, but what we did, we aimed for the Black American and the white American marketplace who had an interest. So we did mail order, and we were able to sell a number of these videos, and we kept rolling. So that the interest in social media, because my sister calculated one night in Brooklyn, she said there are 250 million people in the United States. If one of them
Yes.
spend $1 with us, that's 250 million $1.
Yes, sir.
So a light went off in my head.
Right away.
Right away. And then I understood the power of what you were saying when you leverage it with technology. Now, the normal media house will sell 15, 20,000 newspapers per day. And they have a whole staff and editors, etc., etc. You can take your phone, average person, have 5,000 followers, 5,000 persons.
Mm-hmm.
And you can influence that 5,000.
Yes.
Publishers, the media house publishers and the radio people can influence basically the same. So if you now begin to push your thing, you can increase your numbers and your network. And I believe in networking because I was in insurance. That's where we met Shahini. So we understood numbers and we understood the value of no, because it took you an average of 10 calls to make one sale. So what we did, we valued the sale, the commission you would make, and divided it by 10 and said the 9 no's. We put a value to it. So every time a person told us no, we shook their hands and said, thank you very much. I will just earn some money.
Yes.
Because if I get the 9 no's, you won't get the 1 yes. And therefore, so we understood that people now could publish.
Yes.
I had a friend in Jersey who published a picture book, like an album. They found a site and we saw it. And we said, wow, people can now have this power in their hand.
Yes.
You can now write a post, hit a button, and it gets into the hands of 20,000 persons.
Yes.
You're a publisher. A person can say something and you can quickly use the internet and research and you can respond and you can clear your ear, you can clear your name.
Yes.
And you can leverage that for the politics. Now, can you imagine if every voter in Western St. Mary had a smartphone and I had their number?
Yes.
I could communicate with them.
Easy.
Easy. But that is easy. But the average voter still wants to see you.
Oh, yes.
To look into your eyes and to feel you in them stomach. So you may use technology to reinforce your message.
Yes. But you need to walk. You need to touch people.
You need to touch people. Politics is about people. And people will understand and people will feel you. If you have faith in the people, you don't have to worry. Sometimes when a man cursing you, it's not that him dislike you. He want to see you do better.
Yes.
So him whipping you with his words. His expectation of you was so high and you are disappointing him. So I'm cursing you. The day he stops cursing you is when you start to have a problem.
Don't worry. Minister, social media has been utilized for various reasons. And one of the things that we've seen recently is, and I'll shoot straight with you, is that the opposition has been utilizing social media for propaganda purposes, for misinformation. How does one, from our vantage point, how do we counter these things? Because one of the things, and I'll tell you this, people are saying that the party don't respond to some of these things quickly enough, and they allow the opposition to run with misinformation that takes root and then we come on the back end to clean it up.
Chopper, it's a very live point. But we must understand that the Jamaican people are not fools.
That is true.
So let us understand that. And if you keep coming with propaganda every day, one day they're going to find out. And they're not going to trust you anymore. And they have been using all kind of propaganda, all kind of way. But let me tell you this. God bless our social media bloggers. The Jamaica Labour Party cannot pay our social bloggers. We cannot. The value of what they have done for this party is immeasurable. They have latched on to something and they have challenged the PNP in so many ways, and they have proven that what they have out there is propaganda. Every time the PNP come up with a story, the big scandal of RADA,
yes, I remember.
massive scandal, disappear. This wicked government won't allow the people in, disappear.
Yes.
Our social media bloggers understand the space that they're operating in. They don't understand the space because.
But you also do the same thing within the House of Parliament by disseminating. And I'll take you to this clip real quick, Minister. We come back on the back end.
Pontificated fake news. Since then, everyone who is associated with national security is calling him Mr. Fake News. But I don't support name calling. Mr. Speaker, I have no wish to embarrass or humiliate the young man from Central Manchester. So I'll only lay out the facts. But to be fair, it was not all gloom and doom. He made 2 points, which were worthy. He criticized me on the legislative agenda that we had planned. I concede our performance was not as robust as it should have been. On the matter of turning firearm holders into special district constables, during the consultation of the final draft of the proposal, the technical staff raised a number of questions. For example, whether they would fall under the remit of INDICOM. Further research and work is taking place. Mr. Speaker, these and other matters we thought the young man would have dived into because we are open to suggestion and ideas. Instead, he did not heed Dr. Phillips' advice to the students of UTEC. Keep away from selfish, narrow politics. End of quote. Mr. Speaker, I went on to try to score points. This first comment, and I quote him, last week, the American media pointed to many policy reversals and campaign promises. For example, 1, avoiding the use of military force in Syria. 2, labeling China a currency manipulator. 3, on the North Atlantic Treaty Organization being obsolete. End of quote. Mr. Speaker, what right does the member have to use the parliament to negatively comment on the internal affairs of a friendly country? Mr. Speaker, is it normal to use the parliament to attack and question in a subtle way? Is it normal? Is it normal
order,
to use
please,
the parliament
order, please.
to attack and question in a subtle way the President of the United States or any other leader? It is actually against established diplomatic protocol. It's also against the standing orders of this parliament. The United States is our biggest partner in national security. Why attack them? Mr. Speaker, why are we picking a quarrel with them? Mr. Speaker, have the member thought of the effect on the many Jamaicans living in the United States as a result of his loose comments? Mr. Speaker, comment number 2. He unfortunately and ill-advisably claimed that the DNA regulations were not crafted or published. The Jamaican Gazette of Friday, March 31, 2017 published the DNA regulations. And there's a copy on the screen. I do not wish to embarrass him. I'm just laying out the facts, destroying the fake news. With great fanfare, he stated, no DNA registry. Well, sir, what do you say now?
And I will end it right there. What do you say now? Minister, that's the most classic way of debunking misinformation when you deal with facts.
That is correct, sir. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion. You are not entitled to your own facts.
Yes, yes. That was a classic. That was a classic. And I had to play that one because it brought into sharp focus the fact when misinformation and propaganda is out there, how effective it can be when you do your research and come back with the facts. And that's what I've been saying to persons on social media. Don't argue. Just present the facts because the facts can't lie.
That is correct. That is indeed correct, sir. Very correct.
Yes. So that was a classic one, and we had to jump into that one. Minister, we're not going to keep it too long enough because you know it's a.
Well, they need to tell people they need to play the full clip because there were nine comments I responded to.
Yes.
So people need to play the, hear the full clip.
I'm going to post the full clip so that everybody can have a chance to look at it. And even there's a couple of others too that we need to put out there, because one of the things I admire about your presentation in Parliament, they're always very thorough and factual. They are data driven, information driven. And when you want to do a research and find information, it's always good to look at Minister Montague's page and you'll find all these things. You have the few words before we wrap.
Well, I just want to say to every Labourite, anywhere across the world you are still a part of the JLP family. As we say in St. Mary, Buster dead and left one cow, and it's for the whole of it. So the Labour Party belongs to all of us. And we should be proud of the work of the current Prime Minister and leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, the way he's leading this country, and not only leading Labourites, but leading the whole country, lifting us up to a new day and to a new way of engaging and doing business. The Jamaica Labour Party that forms the current administration, we were on a good track. We were in a good place, taking care of the economy and taking care of people. We were not only taking the books and money into account, we were taking people into account. We were reducing our debt. We were increasing unemployment. We were fixing more roads, providing more homes, providing water, providing electricity, providing internet service. But the COVID-19 pandemic has stepped in. And in some ways, it has allowed us to pause and reflect. And I see advantages in it. And I therefore say to my fellow Jamaicans, look at the kind of leadership that has stepped up to the plate. And we ought to be proud. We ought to be proud as Jamaicans. And whether you are a JLP or PNP, you are a Jamaican. And we must be proud of the achievements of one another. As Labourites, I want to say to you, hold strong. Continue doing what you're doing. We are being challenged. Things are not what it ought to be. But don't be distracted. Don't get caught up with the Freddy 15. I hear some people calling them COVID. It's the Freddy 15. Don't get caught up into that. Don't worry too much about what they are doing. We need to worry about what we are doing. When last have you engaged another person and tell them about the Jamaica Labour Party? When last have you engaged somebody and tell them that they must think of the future? Because the Jamaica Labour Party is that party that believes in education. It is the party that believes in the future of Jamaica. It's that party that believes in agriculture, in tourism, in technology. It is the party that believes that we must be healthy, and that's why we add wellness to the Ministry of Health. The Jamaica Labour Party believes in Jamaica and believes in you. For my people of St. Mary, and especially the Western St. Mary family, you know Bobby loves you, and Bobby knows that you love him back. We have a journey that we have embarked on. We're not there. We're building playfields. We're investing in our schools. I have started a rainwater harvesting project in all the primary schools that have water problems. It is not about Bobby. It is about you and your children. Yes, we have bad roads, and we are working on them. Ask the people up at Hill 60 that has never seen their road fixed. Ask the Mount Zion Seventh-day Church and how happy they are that we were able to fix their road. Ask the people in Roscommon. We are moving. Ask the people in Stewart Town. And everybody knows Stewart Town is a hardcore PNP place. But to demonstrate that we're not about politics, we are about people. We have fixed every lane and every street in Stewart Town. We have built a playing field for the people of Stewart Town. We have established a hard training center. I have established 8 hard training centers in my constituency, because I believe we must train people. We must not only give people a fish, we must teach them to fish. We are a part of the tourism belt. We have brought our farmers into the mix by putting them into co-ops, into groups, and supporting them so that they can produce and sell to the hotels. We not only want to see the hotels as just employing some people, we want to see some people moving out of being employees to become employers.
Yes.
We want to see our farmers driving pickups and trucks. We have the vision to see our youngsters, to see the next Shelley-Ann Price and Usain Bolt coming out of St. Mary. So that is why I was there all day Wednesday in Crescent, helping the youngsters, working on a playing field. That is why we put light on the playing field in Bonnygate and in Bamboo Walk. Again, Bamboo Walk is another PNP area, but it doesn't matter. Right. What matters is people, and we are about people. That is why we have a program to help youngsters going to tertiary institutions. We give out 120 scholarships every year to Western St. Mary children to help them to defray some of the costs of tertiary education. When I went to college in St. Mary, there was no tertiary seat in St. Mary. Every child had to leave St. Mary. And I made a pledge to me that I would enter politics and help to correct that. And when I was mayor, I engaged Money College, and they gave us 100 college seats from 0 to 100. And then I spoke to UTech and Mr. Carlton Walters, and he gave 25 acres to UTech at Ballards Valley to build out a campus. They still have it. And we have approved the plans at the parish council. Then I engaged my church, the United Church of Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and International University of the Caribbean started in St. Mary at Iona, and then in Port Marion in Gale.
You know, that's my alma mater, right?
You serious?
Yes, man.
We were able to bring tertiary seats to St. Mary so that the people of St. Mary had a choice. Do I study in St. Mary or do I go somewhere else? You never had to study. And I've now engaged NCU. They're actively looking around to find somewhere for a campus. I have engaged the CMU, Caribbean Maritime University, because there's a market out there, Chopper, that a lot of people that is going a begging. A lot of our people work on ships, cruise ships, and they have to go to England to do the safety training.
Yes.
Because of issues in the past where people used to falsify certification, etc. And the CMU has a worldwide recognized program by the International Maritime Organization, and the shipping companies now take it. I brought the CMU to Arokobesa to train youngsters, and I will continue to bring them to train our people. Because when you train somebody, you invest in the person.
Yes.
And then you hope that the person has a conscience and will vote for you. But what comes first is the investment in people. Right. I believe in people. And that is why we have moved to sign off on the contract with to supply water to Mason Hall, that will see Canopan and Days Mountain and Bundu and Grandstone and Kidland get improved water supply. I made that commitment to Danny Sutherland that I will allow him. He was the longest serving councillor for the Arokobesa division, PNP division.
Yeah.
That I'm going to make him shower in his bathroom. Unfortunately, he passed to the great beyond. But I am going through with that commitment. And that is why we have run a new 6-inch pipe from Arokobesa to Jacks River, the relief station. So Hamilton Mountain and Panside will get proper water supply. And that is why we are investing in the Guys plant and in the Bathhouse plant. And that is why we're building out right now a solar powered pump at Dry Gully so the people of Montreal can get water. And that way we're upgrading the White Springs so the people have new works. can get water. And that is why we invest in the rainwater harvest system. And that is why we're going to put back the filling station at Barnes Road. And that is why we have invested in solar lights, because there are places where the electric wires just don't run, like trial fording, where how many persons have lost their life because they drive down into the fording because there's no light. We have put a solar light there. We have put one at the Rose Street fording. We have put a solar light at Lambkin Hill and at Hampshire Tunnel up in Hunstown and in Top Road. We have put in Gale. We have put electricity in Bubukana and on Ramble Road. We have improved our playing fields, and we have a program to improve playing fields, because I believe our people must have somewhere to express themselves.
Yes.
We have invested in our churches, and we have worked with our church. We have had health fairs, worked with our churches, worked with the health system. We're not about talk.
Action.
We're about action and love and unity, because Jamaica is still the best place to live. And I believe in Jamaica. And I do my work, not for reward. I do my work so that Jamaica may, under God, increase in beauty, fellowship, and prosperity.
Well said, Minister, Party Chairman. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Now I can tell my children and my colleagues that I've really made the big times. I came on the chopping block.
Thank you, Minister. And we look forward to hosting you again.
It is my pleasure, sir, and I really enjoyed it. And to those persons who gave their comments, sorry we couldn't answer all, but I love you. I love you. I love you. And when I come back, we will dedicate the time to answering your comments and questions. But be assured that the Labour Party is in good hands. We are getting ready. The election is inevitable. It is going to happen. We're just getting ready. And we know you are ready. And believe me, every good term deserves another term. And we believe that the PNP has performed well in opposition, and we should give them another term in opposition.
I agree with you. Before you go, there's two questions I want to ask you. First one is, which is the baddest political party in Jamaica?
Well, if you're going to say the best, baddest in a good sense, it has to be the Jamaica Labour Party.
And which is
about Jamaica. It is about Jamaica. It is about individuals laboring together, and it is about a party, a place of unity.
And the final question before you go, which is the baddest online talk show in the world?
Chopping Block with Chopper John. Keep it locked. Don't move it. Don't shake it. See you back next week on the Chopping Block with Chopper John.
Bless you.
Blessings and love. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I will look forward to seeing all those people in cyberspace and my social media. God bless you all. God bless Jamaica.
You too. There you have it, folks. So that was Minister Bobby Montague, party chairman. Let me tell you something. It gets no better than that, you know. It gets no better than that. When you have the party chairman in the building, it means that the thing shot. It shot! We had a little technical difficulty earlier, and we have to apologize for that. That was just something that we had no control over, right? When the internet goes, it goes. But I have to say big respect to y'all. You're stuck on stay, you stick around, you stayed around, and we made it happen. Loads of respect to Tova Hamilton. Thanks to her for passing through. We say big respect to Minister Montague for sticking and staying. We still have a lot to give away. We have 2 minutes. So we're not going to be long, right? Here's what we're going to give away. We're going to give an Android box, right? We're going to give this away to one of the persons who subscribe to the YouTube channel, Chopper John TV, on YouTube. So hop over there and subscribe. Once you hit the subscribe and notification button, you will be the winner. One of you guys will be selected as winner for this Android box, all right? We still have a bunch of digital credit, flow credit to give away. We got a little technical difficulty earlier. That was just not nice. But you know what was good? It proves that you guys are locked and loaded and dedicated and wanted to hear from Minister Montague. You wanted to hear from Tova Hamilton. So you stuck around and we appreciate you. Same time, same place next week. The Attorney General will be in the house. Marlene Malahoo Fort will be in the building. The country's Attorney General is passing through. With a thanks to everybody who shared the program, who tell a friend, tweet a friend, phone a friend, tell a friend that we were on live. We appreciate every single one of you who stuck around while we were offline for a few. Again, we say thanks to Tova for holding it down. She held it down like a real queen. Northern Trelawney representing well. With 225 deep, it's 10:08. We're way beyond the time we scheduled to stay. But I know y'all will understand, right? We're live on YouTube. We're live on Facebook. Next week, we're going to be live on Twitter. We're going to be live on Instagram as well. Chopping Blocks got internet locked. Social media covered. Paul C. Distance, big up yourself. Thank you, Tova. Sharon Johnson, good to see you, Mama. Steve Nemard, thank you for joining us. Michael Gray, good to see you. Leroy Turner, you joined us, respect. Annette Grant, big up yourself. Thanks to the producers. Y'all did a great job, right? Keeping us level. Arlene Campbell, good to see you. Philip Big Papa, big to see you, sir. Thanks to Gavin for joining us. Chris Fisher, big up yourself. Angela McCoy, big up yourself. Oh, it's McKay, big up yourself. We see Anne-Marie Lewis in the building, big up yourself. I see Norris Allen Gooden. That name rings a bell. Lacovia St. Elizabeth, big up yourself. You can't hide, I know you. Love, respect in every aspect. Nicole Brown, big up yourself. Jordan Taylor, big up yourself. Omar Bryce, big up yourself. Camille McLeod, enough respect to you. Jay Ann, I see you, Mama. Magnus Williams Jr., Atlanta, representing. Big up yourself. Stay safe. Rodney, Prosperity King himself. Big up yourself. Northeast St. Elizabeth, representing. Emron, my brother from the same mama. Big up yourself. Shower Queen, big up yourself. I see you in the building. Patroy Seal, I see you. You're in the building. Shanti Johnson is in the building. I don't know y'all want me to wrap it up, but guess what? You see, we are by the people for the people. And we can't leave without bigging up the folks, right? George Anderson, King Yapis himself. We said big up to Darlan H. Francis. Robert Nestor Morgan, big up yourself. Rhoda Crawford, big up yourself. Central Manchester, representing. We still got a gift for last week with us. We're going to send these stuff off, right? And we're going to choose someone, anybody who, one of the subscribers to our YouTube channel, which is Choppjohn TV, is going to get this prize, right? So hop over to YouTube and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification button so you'll see every time we go live, right? Building the movement. Courtesy of. You know we don't hide the political affiliation, right? Shanti Johnson, big up yourself. Jay Ann, my friend, how are ya? Steve Biggs, big up yourself. Sonia Whittle, big up yourself. New Jersey is in the building. We appreciate every single one of you for joining. We thank you for sticking and staying. We're going to see you next week, same time, same place. Lots more giveaways. We have a lot more giveaways, right? So one of the subscribers on our YouTube channel is going to win for themselves this Android box, right? So hop on over to CHOPPAJOHN TV and hit that subscribe button, all right? And one of you is going to get this. We're going to make that announcement probably on our page. But you stick and stay, we're going to do it. Again, thank you to Minister Montague, party chairman. We appreciate you, sir, for sticking and staying with us. Thank you to Tova Hamilton. Northern Trelawney representing. Pop, 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 pop. Barrington James, I see you, my brother. You're in the building. Lots of respect to you. John Atkins, big up yourself. You're the real general, you know that, right? Big up yourself, my friend. Maureen Price, big up yourself. Valerie Brown, big up yourself. We appreciate you, Sister Valerie. St. Elizabeth representing. So hop over to YouTube, right? Make sure you hit that subscribe button. That's where we're going to be storing all our contents, right? So when the chopping block hits the street and we do all those contents from the street, it's going to be on our YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe. Make it a date and pay your musical rate. Don't you ever, 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 ever be late. Kizzy Perry, thank you for staying up, sweetheart. I know your time difference is super, 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 super high. But you take time out of your sleep, your beauty sleep, to stick and stay with us. I appreciate you, man. Patrick Hines, big up yourself. I know y'all want me to wrap it up, but I can't wrap it up. I see my people. When I see my people, it makes me happy. Jay Ann says she was a 10th subscriber. Now we're gonna have to find a matrix as to how to choose that subscriber, because we want to be fair to everybody, right? Keisha Matt, big up yourself, good to see you. Greg Wargo, big up yourself. Michael Cole, the original Dan, big up yourself. So we're going to have to find a way to give away this prize, right? We're going to have to find a way to give away this prize. We're definitely giving it to one of our new subscribers on the YouTube channel. So hop on over there, right? Diana Patterson, big up yourself. Rosalie Elvin, big up yourself. Make sure you're locked and loaded to our YouTube channel, right? Choppjohn TV. Share the link. Tell a friend. Tweet a friend. YouTube a friend. And tell a friend that we're live. I can't even say we're live. Are we live on YouTube? You best believe we are. Jennifer Brooks, good to see you. Nicholas Taylor, Wagwan. Western St. Mary in the building. Nick, you saw the minister and member of parliament representing like the real general he is, right? Terry Salmon, good to see you. Barbara Brown, good to see you, mama. Thank you, Sharon, good to see you. Well, it's that time when we say, so long, my friend. Rest in peace, Shahine. Jamaica loves you. And all the other persons who passed. See you again next week, same time, same place. The chopping block will be back with the Attorney General herself on her team. Rena Forbes, we see ya. Dwight Debo will be in the building. Next week is going to be epic. Stick and stay. Lots more giveaway next week. Sharon Hey Webster, good to see you, mama. Again, it's that time when we say peace and love. One government, one Jamaica. Peace. We're out.